boy. Yep, the week is just starting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is just starting. I'm glad.
And so, Nick, I think that the listeners voted, and today is going to be the the most popular state trivia. But because I like Earth Day so much, I'm going to give you Earth Day trivia as an extra bonus.
Oh, okay. So we're still doing the popular state stuff.
Yeah,
But
why not?
you're okay. Oh no, I thought for a second that you meant you are replacing the popular state stuff with the the other topic, Earth Day, but which I was going to say that's going to really disappoint the listeners because they voted on a particular subject and then you're just canceling that.
Yeah,
But
but
okay, no, 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 no,
I'm
no,
the
no, we're cool.
one who counts the final vote, so it's probably rigged anyway.
Okay, that's also an extremely valid point.
But you know what, Nick? I wouldn't rig the opening music, so I think it's time to start the show.
Do it.
So here we go.
Welcome to Funniest Part of My Name, a podcast about math and Korean culture, with a side of humor. For information about our podcast, please visit www.johnoaks.com.
And now here are your hosts, 프로페서 승찬 and 닉 하하하.
All right, Nick. So
Yes.
here is something that I think that you actually might find somewhat interesting.
Okay.
And it is, well, actually, I could say that there's several interesting articles, but this one was from NPR this week, and actually earlier today they posted an article about a classroom where math and community intersect. So this article is just an article that is about trying to change people's perceptions of what happens in a mathematics classroom. And so the article starts out like, what do you think of when you think of mathematicians? Do you think of lone geniuses scribbling away at complex equations, or do you think of something a little bit more friendlier? And so now a researcher, Anthony Edmonds at the Ohio State University, actually is relying on her own experiences of success in mathematics, of finding community and peers and mentors and at conferences and conventions to try to actually make things better for her own students. So, what are your thoughts on this, Nick? Are your thoughts that you think it would be helpful if more instructors were like this instructor here and tried to like make things more friendlier for her students instead of just having that perception of it's the standard math classroom of people just scribbling things at a board, or just a mathematician like talking to the students without any interaction. What are your thoughts, Nick? Do you think that this is a good thing or a step in the right direction? And if so, what are some things that maybe you would have changed based off of this information about your own experiences in math classes in the past?
First of all, I used to think mathematicians were the description that you gave initially, but since knowing you, that has vastly changed to essentially viewing someone as hip and cool as John Oakes as my new benchmark for mathematicians. So I just wanted to get that part out.
Well, that's a good thing, Nick. I would say
It
that,
is. It is.
like I think that my students appreciate my examples about pizza. Like I had to actually tell one of my students today that 3 plus 2 is not the same as 2 plus 3, because if two people are buying pizzas and one person buys
Oh,
3 of them and the other one buys 2, if they switch the order,
yeah.
then the other person buying a different number of pizza. And so the lady who complained about this, I told her, well, you know what, you're getting stuck with the bigger bill from now on.
I mean,
I mean,
I
that's
don't
my
know if
thought
that's
of
the
it.
best analogy, but it does remind you that in real world application of math, the context does in fact play a part. Anyways, digressing to get back to the core question here. I like the idea of I don't think the word friendly or friendlier is necessarily the best way to describe. I understand what the the publication or the article that you're referencing is trying to say by using the word friendlier. I think maybe at least for me, the better way to describe the ideal end product is to call it an environment more conducive to enthusiasm and learning. But I think it's a I don't know exactly how to do that or how this particular situation is attempting to do that. But I think the end goal, the intention is excellent, because I think a lot of students at all different levels of schooling tend, if they don't have some pre-existing desire to learn subjects in math, it unfortunately tends to be met with less than ideal attitudes about it. And I think finding a way to make it interesting and fun for students really across the whole gamut, I think is a great way to encourage better engagement from the students, better willingness, not only willingness, but eventually getting it to progress to motivation to learn and desire to learn. And I think finding an interesting twist to it or adding some kind of element of fun or excitement to it is a great way to make math something that is more appealing to a wider academic audience. And I know you've told me a lot about some of the different things you use in your classes to help engage the students more, to make them more excited to learn the material and to see the value in it. I think is, in a small sample size, a great methodology to approach that line of work.
So, what would be one thing that you would have changed about your math education growing up, Nick?
Well, I don't know if I'm the right person to ask this, because math and science and quantitative subjects were they were interesting to me. And I think a lot of that lends to my persona, certainly my career path.
Yeah, well,
So I guess
yeah,
I was predisposed to being more in tune with the idea of learning the different mathematical concepts I did at various points in school. So, but I guess trying to speak from the perspective of probably the bigger proportion of my classmates who did not share that same level of interest in the subject. Oh boy, I think, certainly in high school, when you've developed that certain foundation of mathematical abilities, to start finding ways to apply it to real world situations later in life. I think whenever I hear that high schools offer a class or an elective in like personal financial management or business economics or things that people can better relate math in an everyday or a more commonplace environment as adults, I think you kind of divert the attention away from, okay, we're just going to play with numbers and do math. We're actually going to focus more on something, a bigger situation or a more universal situation that people know is important. And you can kind of disguise the math portion in that larger subject. So I think doing that is a great way to motivate students, because not that they're forgetting they're doing math, but I think it's you're again you're getting to the same goal at the end, but you're taking a more interesting route to get there.
Well, you know what, Nick? The only thing that I would change about my math education growing up is I would say that we needed to have more pizza parties. Like we did not have enough pizza parties in math class. And if they would have given me more pizza, all I can say is I may have went even farther in my mathematical career than I already have.
What about wait, pizza or fried chicken? I
Well, I mean, I would say that it's definitely the pizza because,
really, you pick pizza over fried chicken?
well, for a math class pizza party, yeah, like if I
But why
wouldn't,
can't it be a fried chicken party?
because I wouldn't do like math with greasy fingers from fried chicken.
You have the same greasy fingers when you eat pizza.
No, because you have all the crumbs like going all over the place, and that sort of it could get a bit messy.
So the same thing happens when you eat pizza. That is the most illogical argument I've ever heard.
I don't think so because I just had two slices of pizza earlier and it was just fine.
Were you eating it with silverware?
Well, no, but I had about 17 pieces of paper towel over here, and
Yeah, but if you're eating fried chicken, you can have 17 paper towels also.
I don't think that's how it works.
Why not?
Well, I also don't think that fried chicken is really like one of those things I eat in math class because I just want fried chicken in the comfort of my own home while like like drinking a couple of bottles
Oh,
of soju and
a
some
couple
beer.
bottles of
Yeah,
soju.
why not?
It's always plural with you, John. It's never just one.
Well, yeah, like that's why we need more than one pizza party.
All right. I,
And
I don't really buy this logic in its entirety, but okay.
well,
But hey, look, if it accomplishes the goal of having the students be more enthusiastic and more engaged, then fine. Do the pizza.
well, I don't think the pizza party actually worked for most students, but it's something that I would change because when I actually had pizza parties for my own students, I would buy about like 8 pizzas and leave with 6 left over.
But the
Like,
flaw, John, with getting pizza is you're not going to get pizza every single class. So the problem is the students will figure out when there's pizza, and they will make sure that they show up that day to get the pizza. But then all the other days where there is no food provision, they're going to go right back to their same waning levels of enthusiasm, most likely. So I think it has to be something more ingrained into the everyday methodology of the instruction, but that's just me.
well, I mean, I think that I'm pretty like good to my students when
I agree. I
we
mean,
have like in class when we did have in class activities like it seems like a century ago, but I would have like math Jeopardy and the prize would be a can of cream corn.
that
So
doesn't sound motivating at all.
well, I mean it was better than no prize at all.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, you don't like corn?
Not enough that I want to walk out of math class with a can.
Well, you know, I The worst part is that usually these cans of vegetables are sometimes expired too,
Oh,
but then
John, come on. That's
but
nasty.
well, like I think that actually some of the students actually did find good uses for the cans after they got rid of the expired food.
All right. I have
So
no
I
idea.
mean,
I have no idea how to comprehend that.
well, all I can say, Nick, is that with Earth Day here, you have to be kind to the environment, and
Yeah.
you can't just get rid of any single can just because it has expired food in it.
Yes, right. But I think offering it as a prize in class for something that just seems a little out of context. But
Well,
again, that's me.
that's okay, Nick. All right, well, it's time for our first break of the show, and
Awesome.
after this, Nick, we're going to have our Earth Day trivia.
And a
And
guest too. We have a guest joining in a
yes,
couple minutes.
yes, and the guest actually who is coming will be able to join us after the Earth Day trivia for our viewers' choice trivia.
Oh,
But
good.
the Earth Day trivia is just for you, Nick.
Just for me. Okay. So it's targeted ridicule.
It's targeted for you, Nick.
Oh, good. I love being a
Yep.
target of you, John.
Yeah.
There's
Why
nothing better.
not?
What a time
Yep.
to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The struggle is real
Oh, it's
here.
about to be very real.
Thank you for listening to Funny is Part of My Name. We'll be back with more right after this break.
All right, Nick. So are you ready for the first trivia question?
No, not ready, but you might as well go for it.
Well, Nick, I'll tell you that the prize tonight is for every Earth Day trivia question that you get correct, I'll plant 2 trees in your name.
Okay. Can I pick what kind of trees and where you're planting them?
Sure, why not? As long as it's nowhere illegal, I'll plant the tree.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna like bait you into a situation where
Well,
you're
I
gonna
mean,
get into legal trouble.
well, it seems like something you might do is ask me to plant like a Christmas tree in the Amazon rainforest or something, and that might not be the right thing to do.
That's probably an invasive species down there.
Well, yeah, I think that that's what it might be.
Or
So,
ask you to plant a Christmas tree in some kind of like anti-theistic environment.
well, I mean, you could ask me to plant a palm tree at the North Pole.
I could do that. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. I think that it would leave a great story to hear when you get back.
Well, I mean, no, I didn't say I would go plant it personally. I just said I would make sure it planted.
Oh, see, this
Now
is
with
the kind of suckering in that you do to me that just I don't know why I come back to this.
now with that being said, like I probably would fake the planting at the North Pole with the green screen and some other things, and in a real life Santa Claus just to make it look like I was really there.
Ah, it's just a ruse, John.
But
I don't know about that.
here's the first question, Nick.
All right, all right.
What year was Earth Day started?
It has to be fairly recent because I feel environmental concern and initiative is not in the grand scheme of civilized history is not that old of a concept. It's definitely in the last 100 years. 1958.
Oh, so close. 1970.
Okay. All right.
So now,
You said it's 2 trees for every question I get right
yes, two
in this
trees.
segment. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Question 2, Nick.
Okay.
So, why was April 22nd chosen as Earth Day?
Why April 22nd? Okay. I don't know of any other connection to another holiday. It's April, so it's being like the very middle of spring season. Is that maybe something to do with like the growing seasons, like the beginning of a
Oh, so
accepted
close,
growing
Nick.
season?
It was to try to encourage more college students to celebrate it since April 22nd usually falls between spring break and final exams.
Okay. I don't at all understand that.
Well,
I mean, I suppose if you made a list of the top 100 reasons why Earth Day was made the date that it is, that might be like in the mid to upper 90s on that list as the number one reason. That seems a little made up. That sounds like fake news, John.
well,
Just
that's okay.
that's just my
All right, Nick,
thought
how
about it.
about this question?
All right.
What is the Earth Day theme song? Well,
I
I thought you
concede.
would have this one on replay, like on repeat on Spotify or something.
If you told me what it was before the show, I would have. And I
Well,
probably will after we're done.
if you're giving up so quickly,
I'm
Nick,
giving up. I'm throwing in the towel.
it's called the Earth Day Anthem, and
Okay.
it was written in 2013 by an Indian poet by the name of Abhi Kumar.
Okay. The Earth Day anthem. All right. I'll look that up after we're done.
Yep.
Hopefully I remember.
Well, I mean,
No guarantees.
yeah. Well, I think it's I don't think I've listened to it recently.
How about this,
but
John? The next time we hang out, we can play it and do it karaoke style.
oh, why not? I think that
Okay.
might be a good idea.
Okay.
So, Nick, what is the theme for Earth Day 2021?
Electric vehicles.
So close. It's called Restore Our Earth.
That sounds like the theme every year, or what it should be every single time.
Well, I don't in 2010, the theme was a billion acts of green.
That sounds like just another way to word the same intention.
Well,
As usual, I question your sources here, but then again, that's not in any way out of the ordinary.
yeah, I mean, it makes sense that you would question this. I mean,
I always question this.
now, I will tell you, Nick, that Earth Day is not Earth Day in every country because in 2009, the United Nations gave Earth Day another name. So, what was that name, Nick?
In 2009, the UN gave it a different, like a temporary new name
No,
for 1 year.
it's a brand, like the name that it's called everywhere else in the world except for the United States, where we just still call it Earth Day.
I don't know. I'm
I mean,
putting up
I
the
thought
white
that
flag here.
you would try a little bit harder to try to get these trees planted, Nick.
I know. I'm sorry. My effort is not
Well,
not
other
good.
countries know Earth Day is International Mother Earth Day.
International Mother Earth Day. Okay. Well, all right. That's. I mean, okay. All right.
All right, so
Could be
our
worse.
guest of the show has arrived.
So no, I don't get any trees planted, John. Is that the conclusion
Well, I'll
we've
give
arrived?
you one last. I'm going to give you one last final try,
One
and-
last final try.
and I'll plant 10 trees in your name if you get this final question right, Nick.
10.
Yep, 10 trees.
So they all
you
have to be in
ready,
the
Nick?
same location, or can I pick several? Can I pick like 4 or 5 and portion it out?
You know what? I'm just going to give them to you, like pull them up from the roots and just give them to you, and you can do whatever you want with them. So
All right.
now, who started Earth Day?
Oh God. All right. So can you at least tell me, was this person alive in 1970 when Earth Day started, or is this like another trap that I just can't
No,
possibly win?
I'll even give you a hint that the person was from Wisconsin at the time.
That doesn't help me at all. You
Well, I tried to give you a hint because I thought that you might have the historical records of Wisconsin memorized, Nick.
No, that's one of the states I have not quite made it around to yet.
All right, well, I'll give you another hint. There are 2 N's in the person's last name.
Uh,
So close. It was
yeah, sure.
Wisconsin Senator Gaylord Nelson.
Wow. John, if you
Well-
give me like another 30 seconds, I definitely would have had that.
I'm not so sure that's the case. So-
Yeah, neither am I. Good. I'm glad we agree on that.
Jen, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and
Oh, come on, John. You don't make the
and-
guests have to do this. That's
well,
why they're
no,
guests.
I think that it's good for like our guests to only let the listeners know what they want them to know, right? Because I don't want to expose somebody without their permission.
How can you
Now
do
I'm
that?
curious about what kind of intro you would have given me, Nick, because I mean, I assumed you had like a whole thing written.
No.
for me. I didn't
No.
pre-prepare anything.
I don't give away information about people in a public forum without first discussing that with said individual.
I'm not so sure about that.
I don't exploit people that way. That's not my style.
Well, I mean, if you want to, if you think of it as exploitation, then it is.
All right. I mean,
Yeah. All
take
right.
it how you will.
So the good news, Jen, is that the listeners' choice trivia topic was the most popular U.S. states ranked from best to worst according to Americans.
Yikes. Okay.
So
Oh, don't worry, Jen, if you don't know even remotely the answers to these. He will somehow give you the answers to all of them. Whereas with me, if I say the right answer, I'll still somehow be wrong. So rest assured, your victory is guaranteed, is what I'm saying in short.
Yes.
yes, all right.
You're saying is I'm going to be a winner either way.
yes,
That's the kind of game I like to play.
Yeah,
yes. There
it's a shoe-in.
you can't lose in this game. Nick can, but no one else.
Well, John, before we
can.
get too far into it, what's the prize tonight? What's
So-
the imaginary prize?
Well, I mean, the prize is a pair of scissors.
Ooh.
Like a good pair or just
Well, I mean,
some-
it's just a pair of scissors. I can't comment on the quality.
well, like desk scissors or
Kitchen scissors? Are we talking like shears?
Yeah.
You know, I would say that you could cut maybe a piece of paper with them.
Maybe.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
what you're saying is these scissors suck.
Well, I mean, depending on what you want to cut.
John, can't we have like a Korean themed prize?
Well, you can cut Korean things with the scissors. So,
But are the scissors Korean?
uh, sure, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to win them anyway. So,
But Jen
that's
could
okay.
win them.
Koreans do like to cook with scissors too. I mean, we
Ah,
cut
yes,
a
Korean
lot
barbecue.
of
They
things.
always give you the scissors.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
life easier.
Jen,
oh.
but Jen, if you win the scissors, you're getting top of the line, meat shears.
Yes.
Top of the line meat shears.
All right, so here's how this trivia game works, and you're going to take turns guessing the states, and then the person who gets the most correct of the top 10 most popular states wins.
Can I just add? Do you want me to do an introduction? Like, do you want people to know who I am or who I know in relation to this? Like,
It's more, do you want people to know that?
Yeah. Do you want people to know exactly?
I'm fine with that. So, my name, I'm assuming people know nothing.
They do know. I mean, I know something, but everyone
some
else knows
people-
nothing.
Appeared on the screen.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that's okay.
That's how all of our guests come to this platform.
You know what? If that's how everybody does it, we're gonna stick with tradition. That's fine.
Well, no. I'm not saying they don't. Actually, John, have we had anybody really do an intro? No, not really.
I think
join.
that people just sort of come on and they enjoy themselves, and that's all that matters.
Well, I'm glad they do because I never do.
You know what? I'm not gonna break tradition then. I'm just gonna keep rolling with it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to know who I am or what I do or who I know. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if
Perfect.
I'm okay with the witness protection program. I might be in
Witness
it right now,
protection
and
program.
no one
What?
knows.
How?
Yeah.
Why did that come up?
Well, I mean, if I were in the witness protection program, Nick, I wouldn't tell you.
As a witness or as someone who's protecting the witness, John?
Well, all I
I think
can
either way
say-
he couldn't tell you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. It
All
is
right.
what it is. So, Jen, I'll
Sure.
let you pick the first state, and I will give you a hint that there are 51 on the list because some Americans did not know the concept of what 50 states meant when responding to the survey.
Sure.
What?
That can be a tricky concept that we learn.
His sources for all this stuff are always questionable at best.
It's a lot of like Wikipedia.
Oh, Wikipedia is like
So this list actually came
eons more reliable.
from today.ugov.com.
Yeah,
We'll go with it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yep. So
there's
Jen,
no way
I'll
that's
give
not a
you
catfish site.
The
but, all right.
first guess of what one of the top 10 most popular U.S. states was.
Wait, when you say most popular states, what is that? I don't understand exactly what this means.
Well,
That was actually going to be my question as well.
Well, it was just as ranked by Americans. Like, what was your favorite state?
So this is not based on population. This is based on
Popularity.
Popularity.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a popularity contest. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
I got to go with New York then.
So New York came in at number 8 with 59% of people saying it was their favorite state. So because you
Wait,
that,
this doesn't make any sense, John. How can it get 59% of the vote but come in 8th place?
well, because you really, I guess I should have clarified that each person was allowed to pick two two states.
Oh, so it was like a ranking. It wasn't just
Yeah.
like, what is your favorite state?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, so people, maybe the way it was worded is you pick 10, and every time it shows up in somebody's list of 10, that counts as like,
Right.
Was it
also
like a
50,
weighted
59%.
list?
Oh, okay. All right. I understand this. now.
Yeah. So Jen, because you got the first one correct, you get to pick again.
Ooh. All right, so you said New York was number 8?
Yes.
Jeez. Okay. Hawaii.
That was number 1 with 69%.
Wow. Hawaii, the top dog.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't, how can I live up to this?
I checked you
know.
out, man. You didn't even get a chance.
I know.
No, you just told me to sit the hell down.
So you get
yeah.
another one, Jen.
Okay.
Does this go indefinitely if someone keeps getting it right?
Yeah.
So essentially, I might actually never have a chance to go here.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, that's my new goal for the night.
yeah, it should
Just
be.
prevent me from actually having an opportunity.
Shut you down completely.
Of course it is.
All right.
That was probably John's goal too.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, that would be a nice goal. So, Jen, I'm hoping for a
Oh,
complete victory, 10 out of 10 here. So I have 100% confidence in your next guess.
wait, John, what was the percentage on how often Hawaii showed up in the list?
69%,
60, and New York was what, 59?
59.
Okay.
California?
So that one, unfortunately, was number 12. But
Wow.
but I will give you a second chance to
I'm
guess
pleasantly
another
surprised by
state.
that.
Another state that starts with a C.
Wait,
that made the top 10.
what's
So
am
so
I ever
what-
gonna get a shot here? This game is so bogus.
It's not bogus, Nick. All right,
John, can
Jen,
I just
so
drop off the call?
another.
I'm gunning for those scissors, man. I want them so bad.
I can tell.
So
What if they're
bad.
not- what
I
if
got
they're
2
not-
kitchen scissors. A
Well,
third would be amazing.
Wait, what if they're not food grade approved?
Oh, that they will be.
I'll make them. That's fine.
Oh wait,
Yep.
John, are you going to get scissors? Like you're going out to purchase?
Oh yeah,
these?
why? Well, yeah, of course.
Well, no, I'm used to
Only
you
the
trying to give out
best.
secondhand prizes like you did a couple weeks ago with
Oh
the
no,
half-used gum.
only to you, Nick. All right. So Jen, what is your guess for a state that starts with a C that made the top 10?
I'm gonna go with Connecticut.
So
Connecticut
let's
sucks.
see. That is number 23 on the list,
It should be lower than that. Come on, there's nothing important in Connecticut, is there?
and it came in at 51%.
Maybe Yale frat parties, or no, not frat parties.
Well-
Yale secret society parties.
Oh no.
Isn't that where that's where Skull and Bones is, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it's Yale.
That
It's
is
the
it.
Yale secret society.
All right,
Yeah,
Nick.
you're right. Yes, speculatively.
I think
Is it finally my turn?
it's your turn.
Wow.
So now, Nick, the rules are a little bit different for you, Nick. You have
Of course
to
they are.
get something in the top 5. So now there's
Don't
only
forget, one's already been taken.
yep,
Yep.
there's one already taken, Nick. So what is your first guess?
Florida.
So Florida did not make the top 5. It was number 6.
Of course, it was
So-
number 6. Yeah.
So-
That's unbelievable.
Is it? Oh, this
All
game
right,
is
Jen,
unbelievable,
so
John.
It's back to you, Jen. So number 1, Hawaii, number 6, Florida, and number 8, New York have already been taken. So what is your next guess?
I'm gonna go with California.
Wait, oh, you already guessed California, so I've given
I?
you another guess.
Oh my God, that should be a
Wow.
loss of turn and a
Wow.
deduction of 1 point.
Well, all right. The complaining, Nick, you lose your next turn automatically. So Jen, what is your next guess?
wait.
What are my next 5 guesses?
Wait, that's it, John? Not negative 500 points?
Well, I mean, you already get that anyway.
Well, okay. So the next time I see you, can you just like take that and stamp it on my forehead,
Yeah,
since I know you
of
have that
course.
stamp?
I have the
He
stamp
literally
right-
has a stamp that says
I-
negative
it's right-
500 points.
It's actually right
Ooh.
here. So I have it. But Jen, what is your next guess?
That's Very impressive.
Yeah, it'll be right. It'll be right here. It'll be like
I'm
a
a
tattoo
huge fan of that.
across my forehead.
Absolutely. What's embarrassing is I can't even think of another state that begins with C other than California, Connecticut. The pressure is on. You know what? I'm going to go with Washington State.
So that actually was number 15, but that's okay because
I lost my turn.
yeah, Nick lost his turn, so you get
That
to
is
go
true.
again.
Then Texas?
Texas was number 10, so that's good, Jen. You get to
All right.
keep on going now that you got Texas correct.
This game sucks.
Well, I mean that's not very nice to say, Nick.
Well, it's the truth. And you know I'm all about telling the truth, not about what's nice.
Well,
Jen, you
that's
know this
okay.
too.
Unfortunately I do. Yes.
What do you mean unfortunately?
Yep.
You know, there's something to be said for a little finesse with things.
Yep. Jen, come on. The entire basis of our friendship for whatever ridiculous amount of years has been saying what's true or what needs to be said and not about what's nice.
That is true. That
Yep.
is true.
So what are your thoughts, Jen? There's a state that starts with a V, two, actually, two. That
Why don't you
start
just
with
give the answers
Ns,
away here?
one that starts with the A, and one that starts with the G that you could guess.
So I'll go with Georgia.
Oh, that was number 9. Yep, very
Look
good.
at that.
Yeah, just
So-
give away all the beginning letters of the states that there's only one state that begins with that letter.
Well,
So you know what he'll probably say
There's a
to
couple
me?
of them that start with A. I mean, there's a couple.
No,
of
but he
choices
said
now.
one starts with V.
Yes.
yeah, but
I mean, there's only two choices there.
well, no, because I said that there were 51 on the list, and so Americans could have guessed something like
Canada.
like Great Dakota or something.
Great
Or I mean, if you're
Dakota.
going V, they could have guessed like Virgin Islands.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
Washington or District of Columbia,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Puerto
exactly, Nick.
Rico,
Yep.
There's lots of
Guam,
choices. Or New Korea, like
New
maybe like
Korea.
there's a
I
New
highly
Mexico.
doubt
There could
anyone
be a
said.
New Korea.
I highly doubt
Like
anyone said that.
Well, I mean, maybe if I were the one who answered, I may have said New Korea.
Well, if you were one of the respondents, then I definitely don't want to play this game anymore.
All right, Jen, what are your thoughts about a state that starts with a C, a V, or an N or an A?
So I'm gonna try to go with Vermont.
So that Vermont came in at number, well, I don't even know if it made the list. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Right, number 14. So it was not Vermont.
Oh.
But
I guess
that's
that maple
okay,
syrup
Nick.
is just not holding enough weight.
I'm kind of shocked about
Me
that.
too.
So
Because that means Virginia is ahead of it in the top 10.
Yeah.
The
That's
logic
what's also
there,
shocking to me.
right? I mean,
so
watch.
so-
you know what he's gonna do to me? He's gonna try to convince me. He's gonna say like, "Oh, what's a state that begins with the letter B?" Which is like everybody knows like there's no state that begins with the letter B. So he's gonna try to con me into
No,
saying
Nick,
something
all
wrong.
I'm going
I
to
think that should be a
say-
really good guess for you.
Nick is
Or no, actually,
that-
there's that extra like made up state though. So maybe there is one that starts with a B.
what
in this
we're
list.
There you
gonna
go.
do for you, Nick, is you
Like
have
brand new
to,
Korea. That's a state.
Puerto
No,
Rico.
like you have to
Oh.
guess like a state that was in the lowest 10, Nick.
I have to guess one in the lowest 10.
Yep.
Ooh.
So
one of the
somewhere
states that was
42 to
lowest-
51.
42 to 51, Nick.
West Virginia.
So West Virginia did not come in the lowest 10. It
That
came in at
is
36.
hogwash. That is the most ludicrous
It
trash
came
I have
in at
ever heard.
36, Nick.
I think
So-
you are making up this list as we go.
well that's
I think
not-
you have it in an Excel sheet and you just move cells
that-
around.
that's
I
not
think we
the-
need to find out who runs this website.
Probably
Yeah.
some hacker on the other side of the world.
but that's okay. But now, Jen,
No,
now
it's not,
that,
John. You
that,
shouldn't be promoting hacking.
that Nick got it incorrect, there's still a few states in the top 10 for you to guess still. So there's one that starts with the C, one that starts with the V, two that start with N's, and one that starts with an A.
I like how even with these hints, I'm still getting them wrong. So I'm gonna try to go with North Carolina.
That was number 5. So that's
Okay.
all right. So you
Jen,
get
I do
it again.
appreciate your integrity though, that you're not Googling this as we go. You're just.
I'm not. Do I need to like show the hand?
No, I believe you. I believe you.
Okay.
No, honesty has always been one of your greatest
Yeah.
assets. So I 100% believe you. And I do the same here, because if I was to not do that, if I was to use Google to my aid, then John would not get the same sense of satisfaction out of these games.
Well, like I could tell if you were using Google, Nick. I would just rig the questions.
The same way you already do.
Well, I don't think this is rigged.
I'm glad that my very clearly poor answers show that I am an honest, not very
Well,
good state remembering person.
Or
You
it
know
shows that
what?
they're rigged. They're rigged
what,
in your
Jen, though?
favor.
Like you only need one more to win, because Nick only has one of the top 10 right so far, and you have 5 of them right. So one more, and you
It doesn't matter,
have-
John. I have negative 500 though as a starting deficit. So isn't it kind of just all
Well-
null and void anyways?
Well, no.
Okay.
There,
All right.
you never know, Nick. I mean, I could have a fantastic stumble, and you could just like
Yep.
ramp through.
Yeah, but what do we
You
have?
never
Like 5 or 6 more left in the top 10, and I'm at negative 500.
Yeah.
I mean, or negative 499.
Sure, but also I've already gotten the hint that it starts with a C. I've guessed the 2 that I can think of that start with C.
Oh, okay. All right. So
No.
is it my turn
Well,
right now, or
But
what?
Jen, it ends with the O.
Oh,
I guess-
Colorado!
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's
All right,
terrible.
You won. All right. Well, Nick,
Wow.
tough luck.
Yeah.
Tough loss. So
Good game.
Yep, good game.
The good news is,
And-
John, these defeats hurt less every week. I am starting to get accustomed to them.
Well, and you know what else? It is like something that happens every week, Nick, right?
Yes, that's exactly. It's like, when it's a repetitive beating, you start to get a little bit of tolerance for it.
No, it's the commercial break music.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you, Jen, for joining us.
Thank you, Jen.
We'll,
And
we'll make sure that you get the imaginary scissors
yes,
prize.
you'll get
I would
the
love that. Very much looking
golden
forward to getting that.
scissors.
Just use
Yep.
your imagination. You'll have them pronto.
Yeah.
I can already see them. They're KitchenAid brand. They've got a gorgeous black handle. There's
Mm-hmm.
like the nutcracker part in the middle, right?
Yep,
Probably
that's what you need.
ceramic lined blades.
Ooh.
Yep.
That's fancy.
Yeah.
It really is. So now after the break, we are going to talk about the latest news from Korea. Nick, are you ready for that?
Sure. Why not?
All right. So it's time for the break.
Okay.
What a time to be alive.
Sure.
Thank you for listening to Funny is Part of My Name. We'll be back with more right after this break.
Whoops. So Nick, it's unfortunate that you lost 2 trivia contests tonight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who's counting anyways?
Well, I mean, I kind of was, but
Of course, you're counting how many times I get my ass kicked in these.
So-
yeah, that sounds like a Professor Oaks kind of move. Thank you.
so this is actually an interesting article, and so this is about the capital cities that have the most economic clout,
Okay.
and so
Wait,
now-
are these national capitals or state cap or what?
yeah, the capital cities. So
Of
Seoul,
a country or of a state?
yeah,
or
so
of a country?
of a
Okay,
country.
yeah.
So
All right.
Seoul actually made the top of the list,
The very top?
and yeah, the very top.
Really? Okay.
And it was the economic clout was based off of the city's contributions of to their country's GDP.
Okay.
So then Seoul actually contributed 52.2% to Korea's overall GDP.
Wow, that's a huge number.
Yeah, a 52.2% is actually
That's enormous.
pretty high.
Like a
So-
single city in any country. I mean, I know it's a small country, at least compared to the United States, but wow, that's okay. All right.
So what are some of the other capital cities in the world that you think made the list
Hmm.
of top cities, like top capital cities that have a lot of economic clout as defined as the percentage of their contributions to their country's GDP?
Okay. All right. All right. So it's the same metric for the entire list.
Yes.
And it's based on percentage of GDP.
Yes.
Okay. So Seoul was number one at 52.
Which
All right.
is, like you said, quite a lot.
Yeah,
And
that's
it-
huge.
But it
Because there's other
doesn't-
big cities in the country.
Yeah, and it doesn't surprise me that it was number one based off of that percentage.
Uh,
Because there's not another country that actually topped 50%.
well, yeah. I mean, if the top is 52, then it's not totally surprising. Okay. Wait. How long is this top 20? You said or
There's 12.
okay, top 12. All right. And this is from, I guess, a recent study in the last year or two.
Was based off of the 2018 numbers.
Okay,
So pre-pandemic numbers. I think if you use pandemic numbers, it might.
Yeah,
things
but I
anyway.
mean, something in the last decade. If it was older than
Yep.
10 years, I would question its validity. Okay. All right. So immediately, like the really big countries that have a ton of big cities, I think you have to eliminate most, if not all of those, just because it's spread out too thin. So like the United States, well, also too, like just because something is the capital doesn't mean it's like a big economic
Well,
center.
Nick, the United States, Washington D.C. made the top 12
What?
at 0.7%.
Okay, so my guess is there's a huge fall off after Seoul, or at some point there's got to be a huge fall off because Seoul is number one at 52, and then the 12th place spot is under 1%.
Right. Yes.
All right.
And I wouldn't necessarily say that there's a huge fall off, but it
There has to be somewhere. I mean,
but it's that it's sort of like evenly spread out, one in the 40s, like three in the 30s.
okay, but
like,
that's I mean, still in
you know.
general though, to go 12 spots and
Yeah.
fall from 50%, essentially losing 50% across only 12 spots when there's what,
there's
like
lots of capital cities in the
several
world.
hundred countries in the world. Okay, all right. How about, I don't know if this would be the UK or if this would be England or whatever, but whatever London comprises.
Yeah, London was right about the middle, 23.6%.
What place was that?
Sixth,
Okay, so right in the middle.
right in the
All right.
middle.
Okay.
So
I think other Western Europe, actually probably a lot of European countries, because how about France?
yeah, Paris was number 5 at 30.7%.
Okay.
And I'll
How about-
tell you that
Go ahead.
I'll go ahead, Nick.
Argentina, Buenos Aires.
No, did not make the list.
No.
But I'll tell you the other ones that made the list. Number
Okay.
2, Athens, 47.8%.
Okay.
So that's still fairly close to 52.
Yeah, that is
And
surprisingly close.
Then
Okay.
Ottawa, 38.6%. So there was over.
Wow. I don't believe that. Ottawa is not that big of. Because because in Canada you have Toronto, you have Montreal, Vancouver, you have the Alberta city. No, Ottawa's not. I don't. That sounds a little false.
So I
Hmm.
you know what? I think that this they're they're um like they counted the Ottawa because like the the metropolitan area. Like
Even then,
like they
even then, I mean, in Canada, there's a handful of other
no, I don't
cities
think
that are
you
bigger.
you
I
you
think this list is
I'm not sure that you get what I'm saying, Nick. It said that in this particular example, the capital city of Canada would be Ontario. So they count all of Ontario.
that. Oh, well, that goes totally against. That's not a city anymore. That's a province. That's so what you're saying is the website that you found this is possibly the most illegitimate
Well,
site
I'm
on
not
all of the
sure that,
internet.
that I would call this illegitimate. I mean, it's
Yeah, that's a blatant lie, John. You
well, here's one last story for you, Nick. So, a library in South Korea was actually submitted to this website called Arch Arch Daily, and so it actually, let me scroll down to the part that it says here about the library in Korea. It says a design proposal for the library in Songdo, South Korea is inspired by the form of a human brain. So, as a brain, the library guides people to find information and knowledge by apps and devices, but still, it subconsciously communicates with people through various architectural languages, helping to discover the hidden treasures in their mind. So, what are your thoughts, Nick? Would you go to a library that was designed like a human brain and to have a general maybe look and feel of a human brain?
I'm not going to travel across the world solely for that. If I was in the area, yeah, I think it'd be interesting architectural design to go experience. I think it
Well, I mean,
would
I
be
would
kind of
say
intriguing
that,
to see. So, yeah, if I was going to be out that direction anyways, but I'm certainly not making a trip specifically to do that.
well, I'll tell you, Nick, that of every library I've been to in Korea has been like, maybe I've just went to really nice ones, but they've all been extremely nice.
Okay.
So I would say that I would, well, actually, my favorite library in Korea is now shut down, but that's a different story. And actually, next week we can ask Brian what happened to it, because Brian will be our guest next week.
Oh,
So
good.
I think that this will be exciting. And oh, by the way, did you? I know it's a little bit late, Nick, but did you know that this past week was like Black Day in Korea?
No, I don't know what that is.
So you don't know what that is?
No.
So it's a day in Korea that is for celebrating being single, and so only singles can celebrate it.
Okay.
And it's on April 14th, so it was last week, but all the singles go out and they eat black noodles to celebrate being single.
Oh, okay. That sounds like I I would take part in that if I knew about it. I guess I'll have
Well,
to wait. Well, one, I'll have to wait a whole year for it, and two, that's also under the assumption that I am still unattached a year from now.
yeah, scenic. So, that's the bad part, is that you may have missed your only chance to celebrate it, because
Well,
next year
technically, I missed it
you
for a
might,
lot of years.
you might not be single anymore.
Well, yeah, okay, that's correct, but I don't think it's correct to say my only chance. I mean, I've had multiple chances. I haven't I've been single more than one April 14th in my life.
Well, that that's okay, Nick. I
I
don't
am not
think
saying
that
it's not okay.
I don't
I'm
think
here.
that
I'm
you
fine.
need to disclose every detail to the listeners.
I didn't disclose everyone, just a couple.
Well, I
I
think
left
that's
some
more than a
mystery. I left a
couple. Like
shed.
that.
I left
That's
a sliver of mystery.
like that. That's like multiple years of multiple years of like disclosing that you missed Black Day over and over and over again.
Yeah, but multiple, that just means two at the very minimum. So maybe it's only two. Maybe it's, who knows? I mean, I'm not divulging that.
Well, I guess that's correct. So now, Nick, when we come back from our break, it will be time for your last joke of the show.
Yep.
So I won't call it your final joke of the week because you might get a second one in sometime later in the week.
I think that's
So
a safe bet.
maybe just one more.
Maybe just one.
But you have about 60 seconds to come up with your final joke.
Oh, I
Nick.
have it. I have it.
Thank you for listening to Funny is Part of My Name. We'll be back with more right after this break.
All right, Nick. So give everyone your best joke.
I don't know if it's my best, but I'll give you this one. All right. John, you know at gas stations, those air compressors that are often there off to the side to touch up your car tires if need be.
Well, yeah, because I actually need to go use one because
Okay.
one of my tires has a slow leak in it.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope that that's not causing any driving hazards. Anyways, so I'm sure, we're both old enough that I'm sure you remember way back in the day that all of those used to be complimentary, like universally complimentary way back in the day. But
Oh,
now that's not, I mean, there's a few here and there that are, but for the most part, they,
well, some of them take credit cards even.
right. Yeah. But regardless, there's a charge, there's a cost to use them. So, and
this isn't a free air joke, is it, Nick?
I mean, no. So the cost has gone up steadily. I mean, I remember it used to be like 25 cents and now it's, I don't know, maybe $1 or $1.50. Do you know why? Do you know why that price keeps going up over time
Well,
with those air compressors?
well, all I can say. well, I mean, I have a guess,
Do you?
but yeah, it's probably due to inflation.
It is due to inflation.
But I don't think that's uh that's quite as funny as it is. Like I bet that. Let me check this out, Nick, because I don't think that.
You need to vet out my corny joke.
Yeah, well, no, because I don't think that, like, if what's the rate of inflation on the price of free, Nick?
Oh my god.
Like you can't, like, if free air goes up by the like a
Well,
2% inflation
John,
every year,
technically
it should still be
something,
zero.
but inflation is not, even though it's measured by a rate or percentage, it doesn't, by definition, inflation doesn't have to be a rate or a percentage or proportion. It just has to be an increase of price over time. It could be by an increment. It doesn't have to be by a percentage.
Well, that's okay, Nick. I think that your joke was mathematically invalid, but that's okay.
Okay. Sounds like all of them, since you don't laugh at any. So
Oh.
okay, I'm glad we're sticking with the normal theme here.
I mean, that was an okay joke.
Okay, all right, I'll take okay. Normally, you just kind of shun me with disappointment, so okay is progress.
Yep, progress was made. So
All right.
until next time, everyone, have a great week.
Enjoy.
Enjoy your joke of the week on replay on Spotify from now until the end of time.
The end eternity.
Yeah, because we're not going away.
Never.
We're never going away, Nick.
Infinitely here for your entertainment.
Yep. Oh, by the way, what was that math question that Angela said to ask you about infinity? Let's see. So what is 10,000 times 20 times infinity divided by 10 plus, let's see, what is this? Like 100 billion?
Yeah, it's just infinity, because if you divide infinity by any integer, it's just going to be infinity.
Well, all I can say, Nick, is I don't think that this seems right. But
Or if you divide it by any positive number, it doesn't have to be an integer. It's just going to be infinity.
let me vet your answer here.
Come on, this is simple. This is
ends
like
up
doing
being-
limits.
Well, you know what? It's
Just think about it, John. If you divide infinity by any positive number, it's just going to be infinity. If you divide infinity by 0, well, that's the same as dividing anything by 0. If you divide it by a negative number, then it's just negative infinity.
well, the problem isn't
And if
that
you divide it by infinity, it's just 1.
the problem isn't whether it's infinity or not, Nick. It's that you said the answer in the wrong way.
What's the right way?
Like it's like Jeopardy. It should be, what is infinity?
Well, you didn't tell me that it was Jeopardy
All right.
rules.
Have a nice week, everyone.
All right.
You've been listening to Funniest Part of My Name. Please visit www.johnoaks.com for resources and recordings from past episodes. And don't forget to join us back here next Monday for an all-new episode.